I personally feel like her style of poetry was overlooked for a little while. She's her poetry is very heartfelt. She's got some amazing, clever wordplay. She has dedicated herself to the art form like not many do. She's published her second book recently, so she's got 2 poetry collections published, but I'm sure she will tell you more and how they're available. So I hope you've got your cards and your cash ready for the break, which will be after her performance. So I want you to really give your listening ears and listen different, because I believe she's a really, really special poet and she deserves this headline. I think it's her second one, or third headline, and it'll be one of many, I believe. So put your hands together, stomp your feet. Welcome to the stage, Charni.
Okay, so this first poem that I'm starting with, I wrote on the anniversary of my grandparents' death. It's called Celestial Bodies. My grandfather was the Milky Way, my grandmother his universe. She gave birth to 9 planets, of which my father was the 3rd. They named him Earth. He meant the world to them. He spent his days orbiting. My mother, his only moon, was all that mattered. Together they had 4 directions that were weightless in every way. Ravi, the North Star, Ash, the sunrise, me, the southerly wind, the bringer of storms, a late summer and autumn, and my brother, the sunset. What does grief sound like? No tempo or music, just a flat line across the universe, suspending like stars. We are celestial bodies in need of compassion for our telescopic thinking. We send out satellite signals of sadness, nebula portals for the bereaved, on an intergalactic journey. Thank you. I cried to God about it because I couldn't explain it to anyone else. Emotionally pressed, I started to think less of myself. Talking to God about it is the only way to make sense of anything. Sometimes prayer is the only way to progress through stress. Sometimes I don't know if I'm the object or the subject, but I take steps nevertheless. Set out to express myself, especially when there's an emotional excess, when things get intense. Talking to God is the only defense. It gives me a chance to reflect, to assess the situation. Sometimes the distress is immense. When I'm feeling tense, the cause and effect is a complex problem, but support is scarce. But I can't suppress my feelings either. My mind, heart and soul protest against it, because sometimes things don't work out how we expect, so I reject it all entirely. I don't want to waste my breath, so I talk to God about it instead. Thank you. I guess my heart is a playing card, considering the amount of times I've had to deal with it. I'm not calling your bluff, I'm telling you straight off the cuff, because I wear my heart on my sleeve, that I am a 10 of hearts. 5 red hearts that are reflective of love, but since it mirrors, I guess it shows how love can turn your world upside down. Bottoms of hearts touch like sharp points on darts, hit me, but there's no target, so Cupid can't aim. He might be an archer, but if he's without arrows, then he's a humble observer. But I bet he would probably miss anyway, both the target and the point. So I guess there's nothing that I can say, except that's not a gamble that I'm prepared to make. The bet isn't worth the hand, it doesn't matter how much you raise the stakes, especially if only one side is the right way. You believe in luck too much. Got more chips on your shoulder than you have on the table. Oh, snap. It's my call. 2 tens of hearts don't make 20. It's waiting for a 9 or jack to save me, but the jack is telling the queen jokes. It makes her laugh so hard that her crown falls off, but the king catches it. It's a casino royale. It's an 808 of heartbreaks, but like 7, everything goes on top of it. It may be numerically lower like 6, but the 5 senses take over the 4 players, only for 3 to say good game. 2 hearts can't meet as one if they're not part of the same club. You need an ace of spades to dig under the pressure to get diamonds. And since diamonds are a girl's best friend and they are forever, I guess I like the hand that I've been dealt. Ready to go all in with nothing but a poker face. I know the house might always win, but I've built a house of cards before. Shuffled better than any dealer because I know what the deal is. I know it's a stacked deck. You just follow suit like solitaire. So either it's a royal flush or a fold. Maybe I've held these cards too close to my chest for too long. But the truth is I never needed a full deck. So read 'em and weep. This is my tell. Deuces. Thank you. Crazy in love. When everyone was crazy in love, they turned to me for sanity. People who are equally mad about each other and at each other. It's insane. How relationships develop from strangers, there's infatuation and there's integrity that goes with it. But people don't make sense when they're smitten. Love has equilibrium, it makes people excited. There is unusual wisdom, but they're distracted by the sensibility. They need enthusiastic reasoning. Disturbed by the rationality, it's all a ridiculous civility. It can seem silly, how normal everything is. But people need decency and dignity to see how things are honestly. Choose calmness, serenity, and tranquility over everything. This one's called If Only I Could Kiss You. If only I could kiss you. I'd run my thumb from your temple to your jawline, watch as you breathe deeply, see how your face softens as you fall in sync with me. If only I could kiss you. You would listen to how my lips express everything I'm too afraid to say. It's not that I'm not vulnerable with you. It's just your slow, wide smile stimulates me to overthink everything. I feel safe with you. Not just in your arms, but also in your heart. Those 4 chambers dedicated to nothing but the best and worst parts of me. You keep it under lock and key and don't give anyone access to it, not even me. You say, this is my interpretation of you. My perspective, my world, my whole view, so when I look you in the eye, I can see how our vision is valuable. We share so much that support is guaranteed. The grace and trust.
Come on.
The support is guaranteed. We commit to open and honest conversation, which shows how much of a compassionate companion you are. All the grace and trust leads to affection. Of all of my senses, you bring out the humor in me. You have a way of sending my insecurities to sleep and awakening the confidence in me. Our 6th sense is intuition, which makes it all that more intimate to me. Just good vibes that makes any room that we're in blush. We've elevated to a higher frequency, so we tune into the musical meditations of our heartbeats. Whether that be my head on your chest or how our hands meet, we just let love flow through us and let our auras align accordingly. Thank you. Fire. Why should we be accused of arson? The irony being that we were both fire marshals, but martial laws don't apply to the matters of the heart. Our amicability kept us alight, blazing through bravado. We burnt our fingers after that first spark. It was the ignition to start. We had a glow when we were together, a flare that flashed like floodlight, such illuminating light that it had the radiance of a firework. But I guess that's how fire works, a burning passion that's both aesthetic and entertaining. It might seem like a slow burn, but just wait until things turn. Thank you. This one's called Broken Record. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but those broken records really fixed me. The music echoed out its melody and it was medicinal. Fractured feelings had their own funk. Sleepless nights were secured with the right songs. Those cracked characters created concerts in my head. Sometimes the damage can only be undone by dancing, busting a move to the right band. Composers crush the cacophony of sounds, all classical music. No one interrupts the replay. It's the only way to repair. All of the imperfections are what make it interesting. All the imperfections are what make it interesting. Split the symphony to set things right. Even a rough rhyme can smooth things out. The low notes aren't lost on me, and neither are the lyrics. The mess helps me muddle through. Each rotation makes me ready to rock and roll. This is a heart healed by artists. Voices on vinyl are a whole vibe. Restore the mental recordings. Prepare for another playback. Jamming to jazz. Every album an artifact, a stereo soundtrack. But these lines on loop got me singing along, each time hoping for a different outcome. Thank you. This is Space. Don't let anyone make you feel small. Don't let anyone make you feel uncomfortable. You earned your place, so make your presence felt. Walk into that room like God put you there. You try to make yourself palatable, but then cry confidently. Write poetry. Write more. You try to veil yourself through your work. You can if you want to, but eventually your shadow will catch up with you. So just bring it into the light. Recognize that everything has value, both the darkness and the light. Reward yourself for it and be proud. I know it's not easy, it never is, especially when you want it the most. Give yourself, go that extra mile for yourself, sorry. When we were healing, we lived differently. We are aware of our childhood and how we've been conditioned. There comes a day where you decide to put yourself first, not to be the hero, enabler, rescuer, or hero, where you hold yourself accountable, set yourself boundaries, stop betraying yourself. Your true self will return. Find the courage to be her. It will be okay. You belong. You will stand out because you're not supposed to fit in. You can't always be nice or good. Build your integrity where words align with actions. Keep promises to yourself. It can be lonely and emotionally exhausting, but you can't live for others' approval, only your own. Be your own savior. Be empowered, not the victim, but the victor. Live life by your own rules, because you are stronger. Strong enough to leave a mark. Thank you.